So hi, my name is Tara-Lynn Kozma-Perrin, and I'm the culture coordinator for the City of Abbotsford. And I'm pleased to be speaking with Luke Pardy, who is an emerging artist. And he was actually part of the City of Abbotsford and the Abbotsford Arts Council Artist in Residence for 2020's Go Play Outside program. The Go Play Outside Artist Residency was a partnership with the Abbotsford Arts Council, and it seeks to support local culture and encourage thoughtful dialogue by facilitating an artist residency at our Parks, Recreation and Culture's Go Play Outside pop-ups, which ran from July and August. The team's goal was to enhance community connectedness while providing opportunities for recreating and experiencing culture outside. Park locations were chosen for their diverse locations and surrounding populations across our community. And the PRC activities that were provided were free in order to reduce barriers and allow for programming to be more accessible to all. So I'm excited to be sharing more about this program and to have Luke Pardy talk a little bit more about his experience this past summer. And so Luke, if we could start by having you introduce yourself and also give us a little bit of a background in regards to your arts practice.
Hi everyone, I'm Luke Pardy, and I was the artist in residence for the Go Play Outside program in 2020. I'm a photographic artist. I mostly work in analog forms of photography. A lot of my work is space and place based, and even in a project like this, which is all portraiture, the portraits really kind of deal with a relationship, place, and a community, and how people kind of exist in place around them.
Awesome. So let's start with asking what drew you to this artist residency?
That is a great question, and it's kind of like a twofold answer. The first answer is the selfish one, which is after kind of the initial lockdown in 2020, I was kind of struggling to make work, and I was kind of uninspired, wasn't quite sure what to do, but I wanted to make work. I just didn't really have a real drive to at that moment. And when I saw the call for this residency kind of came out, I thought that's probably the perfect thing that I need to kind of focus in on my work. So that's my selfish answer, is because I wanted to kind of focus a bit more on the artwork I was making last year. But I was also really interested in this aspect of community building and bringing community in on making the work as well, because like so often as artists, we kind of just share the end product with the public, and it's kind of just like, okay, here's this thing I did, but you don't really get to see how it was made, or you don't get that aspect of art making. You just kind of get to see the end product. And to me, it's really the making the work that's kind of a bit more fun than sharing it, to be honest. So I was excited to be able to bring in community members with, yeah, in with me with creating the work as well.
I definitely agree that the community seemed really interested and engaged with you and
Mhm.
had lots of questions. And I feel like the portraiture was a really nice, easy way to kind of communicate with the community while physical distancing and being able to have them participate while being able to physical distance. So that was wonderful. Um, if you wouldn't mind letting us know a little bit about the residency um, and yeah, what you felt like the residency was like and what you're able to do during the summer.
Well, the residency was probably one of the best experiences I had last year. And it was kind of unique and odd due to the times that we were in. And the fact that like I was in residence in like public space and like in parks, that's kind of a unique aspect about this residency that I actually think um has benefits to the artist. Like for me, as somebody who really likes to be out taking photos in, as I say, spaces and places, if I had a studio space, I don't think I would have been in it that much. So that wasn't an odd part to me. But something that I really loved about the residency was how much I got to engage with people. And as you said, people were really interested in product in the project and what we were doing and just the program in general. And I heard so many great stories, and it kind of came at this moment in the pandemic when I think a lot of us were feeling this desire to be out and connecting with people again. I think a lot of us has been in our homes for a few months at that point. No, I was. And So yeah, it was really an exciting opportunity to connect with the people of Abbotsford, to learn more about Abbotsford, to learn more about this place that I grew up in and I kind of thought I knew, but no, I definitely got new insights and points of view about the place that we live in that I hadn't thought of before, and I really enjoyed getting to know all that.
Yeah, I think it was really great to be able to see the community connect with you. And I know there were some times when we had parents just thanking us for letting their child talk to us because we were the first kind of people that the child had been able to engage with in such a long time. And it was something that people were really looking forward to. And yeah, thanks for kind of also touching on how this artist residency is a little weird because it is in public spaces and you don't necessarily have access to, running water or electricity or anything like that. And so I feel like your medium definitely fit with the spaces we were and really was about creative placemaking, which I think which was a lot of fun to be able to do with you. So thank you for that. Um, so now that your residency finished in August and we've had some time and we're starting to think about installing, you're going to be having your photos exhibited across Abbotsford. So you're going to have some at the Carrots and Art Gallery in their windows, at the Matsqui Centennial Auditorium, at City Hall in the windows, and then there's also going to be 6 bus shelters throughout town. Could you tell us a little more about the photos that you selected and what you were hoping to convey in the overall exhibition, which you've titled Stranger Days?
So yeah, first of all, I want to acknowledge kind of this unique way that we chose to display them, not kind of traditionally in art gallery, but rather in public space. And I think that's actually really exciting because again, we've kind of faced this unique spot in the pandemic where we aren't in like full shutdown again, but we're in a bit higher restrictions than we were in the summer. And this gets people out again and gives them an opportunity to view art in a safe, socially distanced way. But and also I think it's a bit more accessible than maybe like an art gallery. I know that was something I had a lot of conversations with people in the summer was they had kind of an interesting idea of like who was allowed in an art gallery or like kind of who art galleries um, serve. And in reality, they just serve the community and therefore anybody. But this gives people an opportunity to kind of not learn to view art, but approach art in a way that's in a space they're familiar with, that's a bit more casual. And then eventually maybe they will, when like the Carradine, for example, reopens in person, maybe they will go in there in their walk in Mill Lake and maybe they wouldn't have before. So I think that's really exciting. The actual photos I chose, it's kind of a diverse range, and that's kind of exactly why I chose them, is because I wanted to show the diversity of Abbotsford. I think Abbotsford is a really rich, diverse community, and it's changed so much since like when I was a child in Abbotsford, and it's constantly changing and evolving and growing. And I wanted to show, um, yeah, the different populations that we have. So that was really important to me that I show diverse races, genders, age ranges, all of that, because it really exists in Abbotsford, and it's kind of such a cultural melting pot in a way, our city. Um, also, I didn't initially set out to like document the pandemic, but that is what it became. It wasn't like my initial thought. I was almost kind of like trying to avoid it and became one of those things that more you try to avoid something, it just ends up staring you right in the face. So that is really what connects the portraits is this idea of this time that we live in. And as an artist, I ended up really enjoying that because I enjoy spaces and places, but I also enjoy time. So when I looked back on what I did in the summer, these portraits were yeah, they were portraits of people in community and belonging in their community. But I also saw like a real kind of document of the time that we're in, of the place that we're in, that was kind of like uniquely Abbotsford and uniquely 2020. And I didn't want to avoid those things, so I just kind of like made that the center, although that's not what I started out with, but kind of one of those fun challenging learning opportunities as an artist, you just kind of go with it.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's something to be said about just working with community, right? And having the public be a part of your process. It changes if you're open to it, right? It
Exactly.
kind of drives the direction that you end up going into.
Mhm. As much as like I'm the person that made the project, I really do view this project as also the community's project, and that's why I'm happy it's out in public spaces and on bus stops and in the windows and stuff like that, because it is then outward facing back to them. It's not just kind of within our sometimes exclusive art world. It's the community's project, and it's them. I want to see themselves there, and yeah.
So what do you hope with people, showing up at a bus stop, waiting for their bus and seeing your portrait there? What are you hoping that they're able to experience in that moment?
Excellent question. I know, like I'm somebody who's used transit quite a bit, and I know sometimes the bus ads can be a little they can be a little annoying actually. So I hope it kind of gives them like, company, maybe like it gives them a sense of like somebody's there with them, because bus shelters can also often be kind of lonely spaces. Um, Excellent question. Yeah, being in a bus, you kind of stumped me on this one, but um, yeah, I would say also experience a chance to experience art in a way that you normally wouldn't. That's not a space where you think you're going to see like a photographic portraiture or something like that. You're
Mhm.
you think you're going to see like a Save on Foods ad,
Mhm.
but here's a chance to engage with art in a setting that you normally don't, and that is actually really exciting because it brings people in who probably haven't thought about art before or weren't going to. And so I hope they have an emotional response to it, or whatever that is, whether it's happy or sad or silly, or just feel something when you're at a bus stop.
There's one portrait that you took that I find quite cheeky, and it's of the smiling man, and I just absolutely love it, and I can't wait to see it up in the bus shelter, because I also used to use transit all the time, and so I don't know, just seeing this very happy person, it makes me instantly smile and feel like safe and like so heartwarming. So I'm really excited to be able to see that in the public space.
Mhm. And when you suggested to put that one on one of the bus shelters, I loved that idea, because I know so often as a transit user, you're kind of either switching buses, or it can kind of be a long journey home or wherever you're going. And I thought, yeah, that would be like a fun thing to see in your commute. And yeah, just kind of adds a little lightness to your day.
Yeah, for sure. So are there any other final comments or things that you would like the residents of Abbotsford to know?
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, I would like to thank all the residents of Abbotsford, because truly this would not have existed without any of them and their participation. That meant a lot to me, and it was really nice to see in kind of this strange time that we're in, and kind of this trying pandemic that we've been in. But I also want to say that I think this project offers kind of hope for us, and that things are going to get better again. And as summer approaches and vaccines roll out, we will be able to kind of gather again and be in space together as a community. And also, it's important to remind people like nurture creativity in the young ones around you, because that was another great thing about this residency, is I had an opportunity to interact with so many children and kind of nurture their creativity and curiosity. And without the people who did that for me, I wouldn't be here. And I would love to see what the next generation of Abbotsford and Fraser Valley artists are.
Wonderful final words. Thank you so much, Luke, for being a part of our artist residency this year. And I can't wait for the rest of the Abbotsford residents to be able to see all of your amazing portraits.